Hello, my little love. Did you have a good day today? I hope something made you smile. Now take a slow breath, relax your shoulders, and let your mind get soft and quiet. It's time for a gentle bedtime story. Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom where roses bloomed in every garden and birds sang the sweetest melodies, there lived a young princess. She had golden hair that caught the sunlight like honey, and she lived in a beautiful castle, surrounded by ancient trees and soft green meadows that stretched as far as the eye could see. The princess had many wonderful things, rooms filled with books, gardens to explore, and a loving family who cared for her deeply. But her most treasured possession was a golden ball that shimmered and sparkled like captured sunshine. She would play with it every day, tossing it gently into the air and catching it, watching how the light danced across its smooth, perfect surface. Near the castle, hidden among willow trees whose branches hung down like long, flowing hair, there was a quiet pond. The water was cool and clear, reflecting the sky like a mirror. Lily pads floated on the surface, and dragonflies would skim across the water, their wings glinting in the afternoon light. It was the most peaceful place in the entire kingdom, and the princess loved to visit it. One warm summer afternoon, when the air was drowsy with the hum of bees and the sweet scent of honeysuckle, the princess sat beside the pond. She tossed her golden ball up into the air, watching it spin and catch the sunlight. Up it went, higher and higher, and then down again into her waiting hands. But then, just once, the ball slipped through her fingers. It bounced once on the soft grass, then rolled faster and faster until it tumbled into the pond with a gentle splash. The princess watched as it sank slowly down, down, down through the clear water until it disappeared into the depths where she couldn't see it anymore. The princess felt tears gather in her eyes. She had loved that golden ball so much, and now it was gone, resting somewhere in the cool darkness at the bottom of the pond. She sat by the water's edge and let herself feel sad, and that was perfectly okay. Then she heard a small voice, quiet as a whisper but clear. "Why are you crying, princess?" She looked around and saw, sitting on a lily pad, a small frog. His skin was green as spring leaves, dotted with darker spots, and his eyes were bright and kind. He watched her patiently, waiting for her answer. "I dropped my golden ball into the pond," the princess said softly, wiping her eyes. "It was my favorite thing, and now it's lost in the water where I cannot reach it." The frog blinked slowly, thinking. "I could fetch it for you," he said in his small, gentle voice. "I am a very good swimmer, and I can dive deep. But if I bring back your golden ball, would you be willing to be my friend?" The princess thought this seemed like a simple enough request. "Yes," she said, nodding. "If you bring back my ball, I promise to be your friend." The frog smiled, or at least, he seemed to smile in the way frogs do, and with a tiny plop, he dove into the water. The princess watched as ripples spread across the pond in perfect circles, getting bigger and bigger until they reached the edges and disappeared. She waited patiently, listening to the birds sing and watching the clouds drift slowly across the blue sky. Time passed peacefully, and then suddenly, the frog's head popped up above the water. In his small mouth, gleaming and dripping, was the golden ball. The frog swam to shore and gently placed the ball on the grass beside the princess. "Here you are," he said kindly. "Just as I promised." The princess was so happy to see her golden ball again that she picked it up immediately, feeling its familiar weight and warmth. "Thank you," she said, and then, because she was young and excited, she forgot for a moment about her promise. She hurried back toward the castle, holding her precious ball close. "Wait," called the frog in his small voice. "You promised to be my friend." But the princess was already far away, and she didn't hear him. The little frog sat by the pond, feeling sad but not angry. He understood that sometimes people forget things when they're excited. Still, a promise was a promise, and he wondered if she would remember. That evening, the royal family gathered for dinner in the great hall. Candles flickered warmly on the long table, and the smell of fresh bread and sweet fruits filled the air. The princess sat with her father, the kind king, and they talked about their day while soft music played in the background. Suddenly, there came a gentle tapping at the door. Tap, 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 small and polite. A servant opened the door, and there sat the little frog, looking up hopefully. "Princess," said the frog in his quiet voice, "I helped you today when you needed me. You promised to be my friend. May I come in?" The princess felt her cheeks grow warm. She had forgotten her promise, and now she felt embarrassed and a little bit ashamed. She looked at her father, the king, who was watching her with gentle, understanding eyes. "Did you make this promise?" asked the king softly. The princess nodded slowly. "Yes, father, I did." The king smiled kindly. "Then we must keep it," he said. "Promises are important, dear one. They show that our word matters and that we treat others with respect, no matter how small or different they might seem." The princess understood. She got up from her chair and walked to the door, where the little frog waited patiently. "I'm sorry," she said gently. "Please, come in. You are welcome here." The frog hopped slowly across the smooth marble floor, his little legs carrying him carefully up to the dining table. The princess helped him climb up, and he sat beside her plate, his eyes bright with happiness. "Would you like some dinner?" asked the princess, and she shared her food with the frog, tiny pieces of bread, small bits of fruit, and cool, clear water in a small dish. The frog ate politely and carefully, and he told the princess stories about life in the pond, about the fish that swam in silver schools, the turtles that sunbathed on warm rocks, and the way moonlight looked when it touched the water at night. As the evening wore on, the princess found herself enjoying the frog's company. He was kind and thoughtful, and he had interesting things to say. She realized that she had been quick to judge him because he looked different, and she felt sorry for not being more open-hearted from the beginning. When it grew late and the candles burned low, the frog spoke quietly. "You have been very kind to share your dinner with me, princess. There is one more part of the promise I must ask about. You said you would be my friend, and friends care for each other. Might I stay near you tonight, so I do not have to return to the cold pond in the darkness?" The princess hesitated for just a moment, but then she looked into the frog's kind eyes and saw how sincere he was. She nodded. "Yes," she said. "A promise is a promise, and friends help each other feel safe." She prepared a soft cushion beside her bed, where the frog could rest comfortably. But as she was about to say good night, the king came to her room and spoke gently. "You have done well today, my daughter," he said. "You learned to keep your word even when it was difficult. This is the mark of a true princess, not the crown on your head, but the kindness in your heart." The princess felt proud but also thoughtful. She looked at the little frog, who had been so patient and kind, even when she had forgotten him. An idea formed in her mind, a brave, gentle idea. She knelt down beside the cushion and said softly, "Thank you for teaching me about promises and kindness. You have been a wonderful friend." And then, because fairy tales sometimes work in magical ways when kindness is involved, she gave the frog the gentlest kiss on his small green head. In that moment, something wonderful happened. A soft, warm light began to glow around the frog, like sunshine filtering through leaves. The light grew brighter and warmer, filling the room with a golden shimmer that felt like pure happiness. When the light faded, the frog was gone. In his place stood a handsome young prince with kind eyes that sparkled with the same gentle wisdom the frog had shown. He wore clothes of soft velvet, and he smiled the warmest, most grateful smile. "Thank you," said the prince, his voice filled with emotion. "A long time ago, a spell was cast that turned me into a frog. The only way to break it was through a promise kept, through real kindness given freely, even when it was difficult. You gave me that gift." The princess stared in wonder, then laughed with joy and relief. "You were the frog all along," she said, "and you were patient with me even when I forgot my promise." "Everyone makes mistakes," said the prince gently. "What matters is that you remembered what was right and chose to honor your word." That took courage and kindness. The king came into the room, drawn by the golden light, and he smiled when he saw what had happened. He welcomed the prince warmly, for he recognized in him a good and honest heart, the same qualities he hoped his daughter would find in a true friend. From that day forward, the princess and the prince were the very best of friends. They would walk together by the pond where they first met, and the princess would tell him how sorry she was for running away that first day. The prince would smile and say, "But you came back. You chose kindness. That is what matters most." They spent peaceful days exploring the kingdom together, walking through meadows where wildflowers swayed in the breeze, sitting under old oak trees while reading books, and watching sunsets paint the sky in shades of pink and gold. They learned from each other, and they both became wiser and kinder people. The princess learned that promises should be kept, that everyone deserves respect and kindness, regardless of how they look, and that true friendship is built on honoring your word even when it's difficult. She learned that sometimes the greatest treasures aren't golden balls or sparkling jewels, but the people who teach us to be better than we were before. The prince learned that patience and kindness are never wasted, that staying gentle even when others forget you is a strength, not a weakness, and that good things come to those who remain true to themselves. As time passed, the prince and princess grew closer, and eventually, they decided to marry. Their wedding was held in the garden by the pond, where lily pads floated peacefully and dragonflies danced in the warm air. All the kingdom came to celebrate, and everyone remarked on how perfectly suited the couple was, both kind, both honest, both willing to see the best in others. They lived happily together, ruling the kingdom with wisdom and compassion. They taught their children the importance of keeping promises, treating everyone with kindness, and understanding that true beauty comes from within. And they never forgot the little pond where their story began, visiting it often to remember that sometimes the most magical transformations happen when we choose kindness over convenience. And when we honor our promises even when it's hard. The golden ball still existed, of course, but the princess rarely played with it anymore. She had learned that while treasured objects are nice, the most valuable things in life are the connections we make with others. The promises we keep, and the kindness we show to everyone we meet, no matter how small or different they might seem. And so, in the peaceful kingdom where roses bloomed and birds sang sweetly, the princess and her prince lived in happiness. Their love built on the foundation of a promise kept and a lesson learned that true magic happens when we open our hearts and choose to be kind. You did well today, my little love. Now let your eyes grow heavy, and let the night wrap around you like a soft blanket. Sleep well, sweet dreams, and rest deeply.